Have you ever felt like life is slipping through your fingers? Like no matter how much you do, it's never enough? Do you ever feel like it's just too late? Most people are doing this one thing wrong and it's stealing their happiness. Could that be you too? Maybe you're stuck in a job you hate, or maybe you've missed out on a dream you were once so passionate about. But the big question remains, is it really too late to change? Or is there still a way to turn things around? We live in a world that seems to demand more and more. We feel pressure to be constantly productive, always on, always striving for the next goal. And yet, deep down, many of us feel this emptiness, a lack of meaning. We wonder if we're missing something important. You're not alone. Maybe you felt this too, the sense that something's missing, that you're doing everything right, yet somehow it doesn't feel right at all. We're diving into a question that plagues almost everyone at some point in their lives. Is it too late to change? And I'm not just talking about little changes, like switching up your wardrobe or picking up a new hobby. I'm talking big, life-altering changes, the kind that redefine who you are, what you do, and where you're going. Why do so many of us feel this way? Maybe it's because we're living by a rule book we didn't create. We chase ideals we didn't choose, and somewhere along the way, we lost touch with what actually matters to us. By the end of this video, you might just have a new perspective, and maybe even the motivation to make a change of your own. Studies show that nearly 70% of people feel they're not living up to their potential. Imagine that, 70% of us, feeling like we're missing out on something more. But it's not your fault. We're surrounded by messages that tell us what we should be. The truth is, it's easy to get swept up in someone else's version of success and lose sight of what truly makes us happy. Let's start with why this question hits so close to home. Many of us feel like life has put us on a path, and somewhere along the way, that path hardened. Maybe you're in a career that no longer excites you, or you're holding on to a version of yourself that feels outdated. Every day can feel like you're going through the motions, and as time passes, the harder it feels to change. We all know the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Society tells us that after a certain age, certain point, or certain experience, it's just too late. Too late to learn, too late to pivot, and too late to dream. So, how do we break free? How do we start creating a life that feels meaningful to us? First, we can shift our focus from perfection to progress. Think about it. Perfection is a trap. But small progress, little steps forward, that's where real change happens. Don't aim to be perfect, aim to grow. Every step forward matters, even if it's small. Next, practice feeling gratitude daily. Studies show that gratitude rewires our brain for positivity. And it's simple. You can start with just 3 things each morning. This small habit can make a huge difference in how we feel. Have you tried this? How did it feel? Notice any changes? Finally, disconnect from the world. In our always-on world, silence is a powerful way to reconnect with ourselves. Spend a few minutes each day away from screens in silence. Listen to your own thoughts. You'd be surprised at what you might find. And here's the big one. Find what I like to call a purpose anchor. This is something meaningful that grounds you, even when life gets chaotic. Your purpose anchor could be a value, a passion, a relationship, or a goal that aligns with who you are. When you know what you're anchored to, every decision becomes clearer. Every day feels a little more fulfilling. Imagine waking up each day knowing why you're doing what you're doing. That feeling, that's what we're after. You've got this. Life doesn't have to be a race or a comparison. It can be a journey where every step, every small choice, leads you closer to the life you want. But here's the truth. There are countless people who decided, even when it seemed impossible, that they weren't done changing. Take J.K. Rowling, for example. She was nearly broke, a single mother, and well into her 30s when she published the first Harry Potter book. Or look at Colonel Sanders. He was 62 when he franchised KFC. These stories aren't just exceptions to the rule. They're proof that the rule itself might be wrong. People aren't meant to stay the same forever. Why it's hard to take the leap. Now, even if you're inspired, the fear is real, right? Thoughts start flooding your mind. What if I fail? What if it's too late to learn a new skill or make a career change? What if I end up worse off than I am now? These are valid fears, and they're rooted in something called the sunk cost fallacy. It's when we believe we've invested too much time, effort, or money to start over. But what if, instead of thinking of all that time as something lost, we looked at it as something gained? Seeing the past as preparation for change. Let's flip this idea of too late. Every experience, every so-called mistake, has taught you something valuable. Those years spent in a job you didn't like, they gave you skills you can transfer to something new. That dream you put aside years ago, it's still there, waiting for you with the lessons you've learned along the way. Instead of asking if it's too late, ask yourself this: what am I carrying with me that can help me on this new path? Because the truth is, you're never starting from scratch. Steps to embrace change now. All right, let's get practical. If you're feeling inspired and wondering how to actually start, here are 3 steps to help you get moving. Reflect honestly. Sit down and be real with yourself. Write down what you want to change and why. Sometimes, just acknowledging what you want out loud can be the first step to making it happen. Set small, actionable goals. Change doesn't have to happen overnight. Pick one small action you can do this week. If you want a career change, maybe start by researching a course. If it's a lifestyle change, try setting one achievable habit for a month. Embrace the process, not just the goal. Remember, change isn't a straight line. There will be setbacks, doubts, and days where you want to quit. But if you see change as an ongoing journey instead of a destination, every day becomes progress. Remember, happiness isn't out there waiting for you. It's something you create day by day, step by step. You're already on your way. So, is it too late to change? Absolutely not. Time is just a tool, one that we can use to build or to bind ourselves. If there's something you want to do, a dream you want to rekindle, or even a completely new path you want to explore, the best time to start is right now. Thanks for sticking around. If this video sparked something in you, share it with someone who might need to hear this too. Let's start a conversation in the comments. What's one change you want to make, and what's one small step you're going to take today? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Remember, it's never too late. The best time to change was yesterday. The next best time is now.